Prices across almost every capital city slumped in May, with Melbourne suffering the most. Nine's finance editor Ross Greenwood has the details.
In the first survey of house prices since the federal budget, they show in May house prices across the country have fallen. The only two exceptions were Canberra and Darwin. But there were big house price falls in Melbourne, but also Sydney, the hottest market in the past year, was also well down. The interesting aspect of this is because house prices last May were also down, you have to take a note of caution out of this. Though, if it is a longer term trend, the Reserve Bank will be watching closely to see its interest rate setting. The Reserve Bank tomorrow meets to consider interest rates yet again, widely expected to be on hold, in fact, likely to be on hold until the end of the year. But analysts who are putting these numbers out today, they indicate that they believe really the fundamentals for housing markets are still very strong, notwithstanding these 1 month's numbers.
The growth rate is generally moderated from its recent peak. Auction clearance rates have been lower. So I don't necessarily think it's a sign of further weakness to come, but I do think potentially it does indicate more moderate levels of capital growth from here on in.
Over the weekend, you saw auctions around the country still relatively strong. Melbourne a little softer, Sydney still very, very firm. And that shows that the buyers are out there willing to try and pick up the bargains. However, the bargains aren't necessarily all out there because the sellers right now are also coming into the market in big numbers, testing those buyers to see whether they're prepared to pay the price that they'd like to see.